Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here, sharing your most precious asset with me, and that is your time. Welcome to the Crypto Lifer Show. No days off, baby. Day in and day out. That's the discipline. Bam. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Critical times for Bitcoin. Let's break it down. Let's see what's happening for BTC right now. All right. I mean, it's been a crazy, choppy time, and you expect that in the summer. Never perfect in the summer, back and forth, especially on a Thursday, lack of volume. We caught this quick little scalp. It did not play out, or maybe it will, but so far, no. Back to the downside. Very small amount, 150 for 400, not happening. A lot of chop in this market constantly. Last night, flag came out, bearish divergence on the 15. They fleeced every single, basically anyone that was long on anything. I don't care what it was. Stop hunt all day long, just like right now here on this thirsty Thursday. So I see some big, I got to be honest. I'm in between here again. They got me stuck on Bitcoin, and I'm going to go and admit it. I'm okay with admitting that Bitcoin is in a choppy area where I see two different scenarios. Okay. And we're going to have to just make sure we don't lose moving averages on small time frames. If we do, we're going to have to, but that's an M pattern. That's a resistance, right? That's a bit of a double top. Let's break it down right now. I mean, that doesn't look amazing. I have to be honest with you. And there's a support down there at 111,800. And I'm not saying we're dumping for sure. In fact, I'm still got a long open in the 8-hour time frame, but it's just been hard to stay long here. Every time we get some love and, lower stochastic sideways price action, somewhat of a good sign. But I also see, let's break down all the pros and cons, like all the bulls and bear. So first thing I see is two tops, basically. That's a check for the bears. Ching, right? Ching, check for the bears. That's a double top. That's a check for the bears. You could say, oh no, but these two candles did close right above. We have support at 119.8. Okay, but generally that's a bit of a double top on a bigger time frame. You know what I mean? Like two areas really close. We couldn't get above a massive wick up there that just got eaten. That's worrisome, right? That's not what you want to see when you're about to make a huge move to the upside. When's the last time you saw Bitcoin pump after a massive wick like that? That looks like this wick, the top of the market, doesn't it not? So this could have been the top of the market and nobody will know. Everyone will act like it's still going to go up. And that's when the tops happen, when nobody's paying attention. So I just want to be the only person that could say it's possible. I'm not going to say I called it, but it does have the beginnings, it does have the beginnings, and that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. We would reset for bigger prices on a massive scale just 2.5 years from now. You have to open up. And again, 70% of me believes that there's going to be a bull run and this is not, but I have to be a realist. I'm so sick of thinking what I believe and my emotions. It has got me nowhere in life, I mean, not true. I've used my emotions for love and different things, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes to investing, no. So, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I'm saying should be taken as financial advice. I'm a teacher, you're a student, and that is that's our relationship. That's what's going on here. That's what we're doing. I just want to make it clear so everybody knows. I'm not going to sit with you and look over your portfolio. I'm not going to advise you over what you're buying and selling. I can't do that. I don't want to do that. That's not my dream. My dream is to teach you how to be self-sufficient, to show you how the charts can show you where chart-like price action is likely going. You say, Sam, but you're indecisive right now. You know what? Charts do three things for me on a regular basis. Okay? 3 boxes. Many times they tell me that there's about an 80% chance of a move to the upside, and we move to the upside. And I'm so spot on, it's ridiculous, right? Many times it tells me we're going to move down, and I can see we're going to move down, and I'm so spot on, it's ridiculous, right? And I'd say I'm overly bullish, and we've been in a bull market the last few years. I've been more 80% accurate whenever we've gone to the upside and caught a lot of people off guard. Maybe even a little more, but I'd say about around there in my life. And then there's the days where I have no idea what they're going to do. And we're in some type of chop. And you could tell they could break it. And that's, symmetrical triangle, some type of descending weirdness. This right here, this just it could be a broadening falling wedge, which still breaks to the upside. You see? We have some scenarios here, and I've seen them. I've seen almost all of them. So it's, So here's the deal. And that's life as a trader. If you can't handle that, it is what it is. So you're not always going to be right. It's going to be tough, and it's been tough. Bitcoin has been tough. Like price discovery, as I said yesterday, is the hardest time to trade, I've learned. I think people lose some of the most money during price discovery because there's so much anticipation towards a bigger move that they can toy with emotions here. And they can just keep it here and have so many people go long and get them. And so many people go short and get them. And they can just toy with this price action. So it's like basically a dream for whoever has more liquidity, right? I wouldn't say the market maker or whatever, but whoever has more liquidity is in control here. We'll come back to the daily in a second, but I wanted to put that on awares. The daily, weekly looks good. Right now, weekly is showing strong support at 117 at least. This candle closes below this candle. That tells me that something bigger could be happening, and we could be headed all the way back to the 21-day moving average and all the way somewhere back here to $107,000 for a deep pullback. So that's on the radar. Where this weekly candle closes will tell a story. Closes green above that one, we're good, right? Closes even somewhere in here, I take it. It closes below this red candle. Anywhere below 117.2 here. Where's the open of here? This candle opened, and where did it closed at 117.265. You get Bitcoin to close below 117, I'd say 250. That would be a danger zone for me on the weekly. That would tell me that the weekly is sick. It's now closing its second red candle, and you have to start thinking that the weekly would come to support at $109,000. See, the old me used to not look at the weekly at all, look at all the other time frames and get blindsided by the weekly. Not anymore. I look at the weekly every single day. I'm reminded by the bigger time frames. Yes, I trade the 1 minute. Yes, you've seen me trade the 1 second. Yes, I've traded the 30-second chart. But I am constantly looking at the bigger picture. I am constantly seeing where Bitcoin's going in the larger time frames, and I'm never caught too much in the smaller sections of time. I know they're there to be entertained for today, but I should always have my focus on the bigger plane, right? Just as someone looks out over the plateaus and the fields and the landscapes in which you control. If you were owned like 500 acres, you go over a helicopter and you look at it, right? You wouldn't stay in these little pockets. You'd have to see the whole thing. You'd have to zoom out to see how you could really, truly utilize the land. To truly utilize my financial brain, I need to zoom out constantly. Give myself the vast amount of data that can be extrapolated from seeing things from far away, right? Weekly is so important. It gives you insight. It's almost like time traveling in a way. Shout out to Crypto Billy. Shout out to God is Love. Shout out to Dr. Burns. Shout out to all my beautiful lifers here on the stream. And submitting to God was the greatest thing I ever did. Once you submit and realize you're a tool of energy for God that God can use to spread light, love, and happiness through the world, you can become a conduit, right? Like an electric wire where God can flow through you as electricity. You can touch others. What a metaphor that flew through my brain right now, but that's just how I see it, right? So the 5-day chart, not looking great as well. Let's see if we can get a green close. I say the same thing. I mean, it looks like it's battling with closing another red candle and headed to the 21 or doing some type. And again, it would be a bull flag. Maybe that gets ready to pump in late August. And nothing, healthy pullback would be fine. It would kind of suck for the altcoins unless we could get some altcoin stabilization and this money would flow into alts. Bitcoin would pull back and we'd get an altcoin kind of run. Looks like something could happen like that. We're going to take a look at dominance and break it down, right? And then the 3-day chart, kind of my go-to. And remember, we battled this. How long did we battle this? And we finally got the breakout, right? It was never easy. And again, I have it out here as my trophy. The 3-day call. Still in the money down there at 105,454. 105,454, what a call for Bitcoin on the 3-day chart. No stop loss got hit in the making of that trade. Man, that entry was right there. That thing is stone cold to 125, right? What a move. What a move. Crazy, right? It called 126, but hey, I always try to sell about 70% of the move anyway, so, and that's what I teach my students, not to be greedy. So this is still a bit of a bull flag that could break out. 3-day chart, Wick to wick has a pretty big move there, all the way to 140. So, but it also suggests that we could go sideways for 1, 2, 3, 4 more candles, maybe even, which is 9 to 12 days. High in the stochastics are kind of bending. So we'll see. Lack of bearish momentum recently, but kind of the same here. You know, the bullish sense was strong, but not as strong as you would have liked. Seems like we could go for our next hill, though, to the upside. So it's not horrible. And the 3-day chart showing some strength. And 117 seems to be the keen area. We stay above it, we're okay. We go below it, not go. You know, no go. It's a no go. So we take a look here at the daily time frame. And to me, that's somewhat of a double top, and that brings me back to where we are. And then here we are, maybe an ascending, you know, so here we go. A bit of an ascending triangle beginning to form here for Bitcoin. A bounce must be had. 21 is pretty close to price action. You know, and this is why I like the 8-hour time frame. This is why I'm not giving up on the longs just yet. Like, it's like they're trying to push me out so hard. Usually that means that the long is, like, if they're trying to make the long so hard, it usually means that the long is going to be the one. If they're trying to make the short so hard, but again, you never know. I don't want to make, you know, but they seem to, whoever controls this matrix of time and space in Bitcoin, and I'm probably in my head too, but these longs have been hard to hold, you know. So look, this is also kind of a bearish div though too, which, you know, you got this swing down on the RSI. And, you know, price action from candle to candle is an uptrend. You could say, well, that's some bearish div. It's weak because we're in a bull market. I've seen it, but it's rare. So the odds are there too in the bear's favor. So there's a lot of bearish sentiment that's hard to shake off. Let's be really honest. The weekly candle is not looking too strong. It's looking a bit weak. No pun intended. Sorry. Hey. Shout out to master friend of the house. So there's more longs than shorts too as well, some people are saying. And again, BOOKMAP has not been wrong once in the last 4 months, really. Whenever it had a deep red area, the only thing I noticed is it used to take 4 or 5 days. It now takes like 5, 15, 20 days, but we eventually go there. It's like a slow move down. And so the most liquidity right now today at the very, you know, we have some at 119.5, but it's deep at 117.4. And it's deep at 115,000. So it's still suggesting they're going to liquidate the longs here all the way back down to 15,000. Lurker alert. Shout out to all my lurkers who's here hanging out that does not like to comment or doesn't doesn't comment, doesn't realize it. It's time. It's your day. Shout out to my lurkers. Everybody, all the lurkers, comment at the same time. Say, lurkers for life. And jump on into the stream. We love you. No, it's cool. I'm a lurker too, because when I watch a stream, I'm really into it. You know, I go to my buddy streams and I type a lot, but when I'm really watching something, I'm into it. Like I get zoned in. And when I'm zoned in, I'm not going to be typing and zoning in. I'm zoning in, you know. So, lurkers for life, baby. Shout out to all my lurkers coming out of the closet for the first day. Grandmaster friend lurking. LA lurkers. So, Bitcoin today, kind of crucial. You know, and again, if this was a beautiful flag, you'd kind of have to close down here again or some type of red candle. Like, we couldn't make this green. Tomorrow would be the green candle, right? Because that would create, you know, you see what I'm saying? If today we bounce up, it would be kind of like, but we could. I mean, we could make this a green candle today. I guess it would fill out the flag, but it would make more sense that you'd get this, right? I'm just going over like pattern logic and how I see patterns in my subconscious mind play out over time. But so it's not, you know, so am I bearish or bullish? That's what everybody wants to know. What's going on? Well, I'm still long. I'm still long with the stop loss below 116, basically defying the liquidity at 115,000, suggesting I still get one more pump, at least up to 120, to either decide whether I want to stay in or snatch the long, get out of my long and profit, right? So I'll be in profit up there, you know. So there we are. So what's going to happen? I don't know, right? But they've been toying with this key area for a while. That nasty wick may be recovering. 118,000 is a battle right now for Bitcoin. You know, a long right here is high risk for sure. but it's high reward, right? It's like getting in at such a great price. Stochastics are getting low. You know, no bearish divvy on the 22-hour time frame. And so, yeah, I can see how we could dump on our face. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we woke up today in a few days and Bitcoin's down here at 110, 109, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went sideways and somewhere by July 31st, August 1st, we started to break out. Like, the next few, I'd say the next week and a half is going to be, you know, is crucial for Bitcoin. And even today, you know, we get the bounce, or do we lose this trend line? We lose this trend line, and people are going to start to short on that. That's going to create a dumpage. So, again, Bitcoin's been very tough. This is called chop. This is why people don't like to trade what's called summer chop. But at the same time, let's think about it. We've been pumping. Like July 8th, I mean, I can't call this summer chop. But you know what it is? You get so hungry, everything starts to pump, and then Bitcoin starts to kind of go sideways a little bit, and it doesn't hit when people want, and it, you know what, this is what I just realized happens. The pump is so fast and so awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like 10 days, it's just all euphoria. 10 days up only, right? And the attention span believes that things are going to start feeding it fast, like the gains and then all of a sudden things slow down. And it's not in that addiction to that 10-day rush, you know, starts to, and people get antsy. I think it happens to me a little bit. And you have to realize it's not going to happen when we, you, me, anybody wants it to happen. It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Shout out to Marcus. Thank you. Can't wait to watch you nail the top of this cycle. I hope so, man. Like I know you will. God bless the lifers. Thank you so much, Underground Cryptos. I appreciate you having that much faith in me. I hope, I pray to God I do, man. This market has been tough on an old man. TA was bearish at weekly close. New moon today that we dumped into again as usual. Hoping next week is nicer for us. Hey, sounds pretty. Yeah, sounds pretty. I like it. I like what you're doing there. I mean, you had 6 bottoms to buy to get in the run. Yeah. I think the banana zone one day thing. Yeah. 99 is fired. Thank you so much. Keep it a real since podcast. Sam, can you chart TARS AI? Could TARS go this bull run? I have a big bag and still holding this coin is hard. I jumped on in too, and now I'm like, come on. 100%. Tough bag, bro. It's going to happen on God's timing, 100%. It's time I submit to God fully. I have, but it's like every day I got to admit my human tries to claw back sometimes. I've submitted my, you know, and submission is constant submission. Is reminding yourself of submission every day. That's what submission really is, because everything in life is a process, not a thing. You're always in motion. You know, working out every day and staying in shape is not it's a constant thing you have to do every day to maintain. It's not something you actually get to hold forever. You're either in the midst of doing it or you're not. 3 days go by, you stop doing it, you're not doing it. You're back in motion, you're back in motion again. Same with trading, same with winning, same with finances, same with momentum. That's why I don't stop streaming. Every single day carries the momentum for the day before. Jim Rohn taught me momentum, motivational momentum, and discipline, so I can't stop the behavior. They say it's rented. Exactly. So again, someone said your stop is my first entry. Could be a good place to begin to build, right? They start breaking it down, and look at the fib. You know, definitely looks like they could come challenge this Fibonacci or this level there, what, 111? So, but so far it's been holding 1, 2, 3 in almost 2.5 days. Got this little cup and handle curve. We got the falling wedge here on the RSI as well on the 12-hour time frame. I like the 12-hour. It's got me out of a lot of jams. So even when I'm showing you time frames, I'm attempting to teach you some information. Stop hunting again, man. Seems to be just like a constant occurrence here. Like on every little scalp. It's like insanity. But that looks good, like a bit of a double bottom now too, though. That could pump. Could be, it's kind of a bigger channel now, you see? Bit of a symmetrical triangle that could go either way. The breakout was 119.8. The breakdown is 116, right? Bitcoin. mixed signals all day. The bot's still in. The bot believes long, and the bot hasn't been wrong, so the bot is stuck on the long. Ethereum looks good to me on this bull flag to the 4-hour time frame. If you're looking for something interesting, looks like ETH might take care of this, Bitcoin indecision. And as long as Bitcoin just goes sideways and does nothing, we could probably get a pump here for Ethereum behind the back here. While everyone's stressed about Bitcoin, Ethereum makes a bit of a play. Seems to be breaking out of this trend line slightly right now and up a little bit from entry. Not a lot, but, I think, entry is, 3661, I guess. What was that? No, 3643, it would have been. And we're up at 3696, which ain't bad for Ethereum. So here we are back here, the 12-hour, back to the 8-hour. And so we're looking for a bounce again, back to the top of the trend line. Looking for some type of, this is kind of a falling wedge. You've got a lot of bullish wicking, you know what I mean? You'd expect this to bounce at least back to the top of the trend line here. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, how many times could you stop hunt, stop hunt, stop? I mean, just going after anyone that's trying to long. That's too hard and leverage, right? If you're 100x, 50x, I mean, they're going to get you. So, to me, that's just, and the trend line hasn't really broken. I've extended here, make it tighter on the 4-hour here. Bitcoin up slightly on the morning, 118, 339, attempting to recover, attempting to get a bounce here. The 4-hour you would suggest would bump. I mean, we've been dumping, 2.5 days now. And the 1-hour, which looks just absolutely absurd. Here we are, and that just brings us back to this same idea we just talked about, right? So you got this channeled falling wedge of some type. Man, it always seems that they dip it, but they hold the wedge. I've seen that 1,000 times now, to the point where, that's I don't even look at it differently, which is crazy, but... And then this flag here on the 1-hour time frame that you would expect to break out. Get above the 200. Just go after the shorts for the day. What else can they do? Right? Make everyone super bearish. Create this fear in the market. Dump all the altcoins. Get everyone pissed. They'll all get in a nasty mood. They'll short and then just flush it. Right? I mean, that's just kind of the move, right? So we're looking for them to flush the 1-hour back to the top of the channel. 119.90. That's what I'm looking for today. That's what my kind of system is telling me is likely going to happen. I could be wrong, but that's I am making a call that we're going to go up to about 120K again. So I can't guarantee it, but it looks interesting to me. Yeah. And a lot of people say, yeah, I like what someone said. I'll just buy more Arrow, Sol, and Ondo. Hey, Ondo's is really starting to build something big. And their world finance market is going to be huge. It's RWA behind the scenes with tokens, and I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised if you hold some Ondo like I do. And it's been a while, and it's going to take some time. But, we just keep trucking. We keep staying the course. And, again, that's how I made my biggest bags, my long-term holds, just doing my thing. Lever trading is fun, and up and down, there's ways to exploit the market when it's hot. But I just like to really go a little harder when the market's awesome, you see? So trade deals with Japan sound good. That's bullish, right? I think Trump talks with Jerome Powell today in some way. Trump is at the Fed today, which is, everyone's like, a lot of rumors. It could just be another day at the Fed where a president goes over there. Technically by the book, it doesn't matter, right? The Fed is a private entity. Has nothing to do, they try to even act like it, the Federal Reserve. There's nothing federal about it, and it has no reserves. You know what I mean? It's just so crazy, right? Doing a review of Spark today. What is your opinion of it? Spark, underground cryptos. We'll take a look at it, man. God bless you, man. Hope everything's going well. We'll be home soon, man. We'll be home soon. Funny home, Florida. I miss Florida, man. It's been a while now. I've been home. I've been kind of gone for too long. My life has changed so fast, so quickly. If everyone knows me, I grew up in New York City. In 2020, or was it 2019? I can't even remember. I believe it was 2020. I moved from New York to Boston. I stayed there for 4 years to 2024. And in 2024 of April, I moved to Florida. I lived in Florida for an entire year, had a baby. My wife was pregnant. We had a child. I have a 1-year-old child now. And two other, I have three children, 3 beautiful children that I love. Bitcoin doing damage now, getting back above that 200, showing signs that this may project itself up. I'm calling for a pump to the upside here for BTC. Back above the 200 moving average. See if the 1 minute gave us, 1 minute still battling the 200. It's like, I like the pump, but I'm always so stressed about that 1 minute. Newton protocol, food for thought on my radar. Thank you. Yeah, Newton's been interesting. I've seen it on and off. Thank you for bringing up Newton again. Appreciate that, brother. Bitcoin getting a pump. 1 hour time frame looks interesting in that flag, right? Starting to breach the 200 moving average on the 1 hour. That's a bullish sign for some bullish movement back to the upside. Hey, Sam, what do you think about OP? USDT, bless you. Wow, we got a bunch of super chats. Let's start kind of throwing them in there, here and there. Let's take a look at OP. Ethereum looks good. Look, Ethereum pumping. The call for ETH starting to look pretty nice to me. Ethereum, right? About to do some damage. 4,114 possibly coming for Ethereum. Don't be stressed. It might make a shoulder, kind of ahead on a little right shoulder here before it starts making the move out. There may be a little dip there. But ETH, that's a breakout as far as I'm concerned. 4 hour time frame looks good to me. And now that trade is in the money. Not too bad there at 3697. Shout out to anyone that took the ETH call in the trading group or saw the same thing I did with their technical analysis and jumped on into Ethereum. Join the trading group. Go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. I'm pumping out charts all morning, all night. I was up, doing all sorts of craziness. But at 9:10, you got the ETH call here for Ethereum in the bull flag. Entry and stop loss, 3643. You're at 3697, starting to do some damage to the upside here, Ethereum. So, and more. You get so many other, you just got another extra one right there. You got it for free there. Hey. But there's a lot of coins that I search for, a lot of setups that I'm looking at. And bang, right? Pump would have to show me some strength. Otherwise, Dump City. Yeah. He says it starts pumping and I'm calling for a pump. I looked at it before that candle really started to rip. It was like 108,250 when I started looking at it. So, I mean, you can say whatever you want. I mean, did I know it was going to go to 118,788 on your, No, you could take the class, then join the group. It's up to you. Lifer Trading course. I teach class the last Saturday of every month. That's this Saturday from 9 a.m. to 12 Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That's New York City time. Just say, what time is my time in New York City? Ask Grok or ask Google. It will tell you. I teach this class. Hit the QR code. Make it simple for yourself. Invest in yourself. It's very simple. Hit that code. All right. Invest in yourself. For $150, get the best, I think, full-blown technical analysis course you can get in your life that'll really live break down brass tacks, get in your head, hopefully change the way you see the charts forever and help you see things that I see now, right? For instance, what am I seeing today? Well, whenever the 21 touches the 200 and we're in a bit of a flag on the 1 hour, we do get a bit of a pump to the upside. So that's a bullish sign that will pump. Based on my system, that should pump. That's all I'm saying. I'm not a genius. I'm just saying my system says that this should pump to the upside. It's already kind of breaking out now, right? And what does that mean? Well, if you watch my channel all the time, you're going to know how I toy with the 21 and the 200 moving average. You also want, when the 1 hour is back above the 200, that's a bullish sign for me. And it's kind of a cup and handle too. Like, it's a semi-cup and handle. Like, there's a cup here. This is a cup. That's a bit of a handle. Can it follow through? Thursdays are tough. Lower volume, more chop. We've got a lot of back and forth. But right now, the TA says that that's what's going to happen. Will it happen for sure? I don't know. I have no idea where Bitcoin's going. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. This could turn around and dump, and then you could say, oh, well, he called along, and I did. So that's when everyone's like, I didn't jump on the bandwagon. I just, my TA says it should, on probability, basically be moving up. I can't guarantee that it's going to move up, right? We want to take a look at Total 3, the entire market cap of all of the altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. See what a healthy move is forming here. So we got a pump to the upside. Let's break it down. So we broke out the flag. Beautiful injection of liquidity into the altcoins. Sitting in that sideways action at 800, and we got about $220 billion basically flown into the market, right? And now we have this kind of key level of support and resistance that we seem to be toying with for the altcoins. I felt like we lost some support on the weekly. Let's take a look. So we have strong resistance right here, which usually becomes support at about 1.03 trillion, and we are below that now. Say our next level of support is 962. So do the altcoins struggle? Do we have to get like a 4 to 5 week pullback here and come back to the 21-day moving average, come back into a Fibonacci retracement, hit the 618? You could even say right there, hit the 618 at 900 trillion, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Or is it more of like an accumulation uptrend where we're just kind of slowly moving up and it's all love? I'm open-minded to both. The fact that the 21 so far away starts telling me we're going to make the falling wedge. If the 21 had pulled up a little more, right? So could there be a pullback for altcoins? There very well may be. I have to be honest, There very well may be. Doesn't mean we're not going to continue to pump and be higher somewhere by November. And look, September, October, November, we get the altcoin pump. But it also shows like altcoins only get to 1.25 trillion, which is cool. But that's not this super season everyone's talking about. So just be careful with this altcoin super cycle everyone's saying. Let's just take it one step at a time. Let's just do our TA and do the best we can to forget about all the things everyone else is telling us is going to happen. Because we'll get sold the Brooklyn Bridge 100 times by 1,000 different people on Twitter and crypto YouTube. And at one point, we just have to kind of listen to the charts. You know that song? Listen to your heart when it's telling you no. I'm going to tell Little Bubble, we're going to remake that. Listen to the charts when it's telling you no. Listen to the charts. Corny. So corny. Corniest thing I ever did. Don't do that ever again. I just lost 1,000 subscribers. Okay, so look. So Bitcoin. Previous resistance becomes a support. We get the bounce. All is well here. And then can you come back here to this key level? Make it to the 21-day moving average before a breakout. You know what I'm saying? $1.25 trillion. Boom. So, it's not all amazing here. I have to be honest for the altcoins. That could be a tweezer top close. 5-day candle closes tonight. If that closes like that, that's kind of a bearish close. Am I wrong? I'm not trying to be, I'd love to tell you alt season's on forever and it's up only. And so this is really very important here. This bounces, we get this kind of, and I've seen this before, and this would be awesome. So we're at a really key juncture in the market. And I said it yesterday, I said it this week, this chop, this area. And usually there is some fear before the bigger pump. It's never easy. They don't let you guys win for, it's never, I've never got to win for free. They've challenged, they've challenged my will every single time before a big pump. This daily candle closes red, back to the 21. We have ourselves, that I'll take that. I mean, that's a pretty close move on a big time, on a large amalgamated asset. total 3, like when you're looking at something like the 21 doesn't get as close like when you're looking at a smaller asset. So that's decent for me there. And the 4-hour says you're going to pump. So look for the altcoins to go up with a vengeance here, at least on the 4-hour, right? And it also broke out here. So yeah, I'm calling for a move today. And I guess it's already pumping. It bounced off there. But I'm calling for a move today back to the top of the channel. Just like Bitcoin gets the pump back to basically 120, 119.8. And altcoins will get a bit of a move. Watch the 4-hour time frame. Looking like we make, and also this would be pretty cool. What if we just get a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder? This is a lot tighter. And we just start to break out on the 4-hour time frame. And we continue to move on. This is possible. This is total 3. Let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. It was in a bit of a flag that could break out. Looked like it was going to pump. What happened to it? Let's see. Smaller time frame, right? 15-minute or something. So that flag did break out, remember? So we saw this flag here. I said, watch your altcoins. Bitcoin dominance is in a bit of a bull flag. Looks like it could pump. And it eventually did. It broke out, hit the target, and went up a little more. Let's break down Bitcoin dominance and see if there's a leg down, continuation, what's happening. So we definitely peaked, when enough ETFs, venture capitalists, and you have enough of a narrative too when it comes to XRP and Solana, they're big boys, meaning they take a lot of market cap. So you get a little bit of news about Solana, a little bit of news about XRP, and the dominance will shift. It doesn't take too much, right? Because of the behemoths of the bigness of those coins. However, right? Look at that bounce there on the weekly, a bit oversold. Do we get a jettison back to the upside? So the weekly 2-week chart says, you're continuing a downtrend. 5-day chart getting a great bounce. And another thing, altcoins, every time they've been hot, they pull back pretty quick. So one time they're going to get hot and everyone's going to get left in the dust so that's why DCAing is so important. So I'm going to swing trade, take profit, swing trade, take profit. One time I'm going to take profit on my swing trade and it's probably going to rip. And I'm like, man, that would have been but that's okay. I'm there. That's why I've learned this lesson. The old me, I'm going to explain something amazing to you. That has nothing to do with like the day-to-day trading, but it's everything to do with your mindset and how you're going to make it through this market. So I used to go into it and be like, I got a swing trade. This is hot. And not really tell myself I was guaranteed swing trading. I was just getting a position. Next thing I'd be up bigger than I thought I'd be in a few days. And of course I take the money. Ended up being one of the greatest positions I could ever had in a smaller coin. Like I would have turned sand like 40 grand into like 700,000 one time, but I got out for like 30 grand and thought it was amazing. You know what I mean? It was still an amazing move. Like I think I 7x 4 grand, but it was like there was like an 80x waiting for me on the other end of the rainbow. However, it is what it is. So now what I do is I swing trade and I tell myself no matter what, it's a swing trade. If I sell it and it rips, it is what it is. And then I DCA into what I'm willing to hold on to. And I say, there's 2 buckets, Sam. And I say, you can never go back on yourself. If one of your swing trades continues to pump, if you liked it that much, you could have made it a DCA. And I tell and that's it. And I say, don't second guess yourself again and always be grateful. So I went from a trader that like second guessed myself a lot. And I learned that what came from lack of gratitude. Had I kept going, and it didn't mean I wasn't grateful. It just didn't, it just meant I didn't know how to, the process of aligning my frequencies properly to get the best benefit out of this vibrational life. You see what I mean? So now I'm always like, well, I got to be grateful every time. So I got to find the gratitude. Heck, if you lose, you got to say, you know what? Thank you for the ability to lose. And thank you for the ability to have that money that I lost. And let me find another way, and let me learn my lesson from this loss, Look, I'm always brainstorming. Bitcoin dominance could make this nice head and shoulder pattern and dump. So it just comes up a little bit, but doesn't really kind of get back above that support zone and rallies back to the downside. But it does look like there could be a little more interest in Bitcoin in the next couple of days. I like this rejection by the 200 moving average on the daily time frame. That's a key thing that we want to see. You get it back above that, that's not a good sign at all. And then this 8-hour looks like a bear flag. So to me, I see Bitcoin dominance headed lower. And what does this resemble right now? You see it, don't you? I know you see it. You do. Do you see it? Maybe you don't. But that's the Ethereum bull flag right now that ETH's in, and they're identical, right? So Ethereum eating up Bitcoin dominance. So I see Bitcoin dominance about to fall today on the 4 hour. 4 hours giving us some pretty good signals here. It's pretty right where we want it to be. So dominance falls, Ethereum pumps. It's ETH day, baby. It's ETH day. Bitcoin doing damage out the flag finally above the 1 minute. And there it is again, doing damage. The signal plays out. The 1 minute signal plays out there. Said it's going to stretch its legs. 1 hour firmly above the 200 moving average. Candle closes in 7 minutes. When that closes above the 200, good chance we get, again, not the best trade because the range isn't that big. Almost might have to be a 2 to 1 or something, which isn't, you know. And it's a Thursday, which makes me kind of just, not want to go too hard. All right. The bot's still in here. Hit the link to the Minotaur bot. I love it. You know, it's always there kind of doing its thing, trading and banging on them. I absolutely love it. And, you know, I can trust it. It makes the right call at the right time, consistently, time and time again. Shout out to Minotaur. Hit the link to the Minotaur trading system below and find out more with the Crypto Lifer. I greatly appreciate anyone that does that. I do receive a commission. It's awesome. And may God bless you for doing that. And they're good. I love the people over at Minotaur. Good people. Met them at Bitcoin Nashville. Created a relationship over 6 to 7 months. And I use the bot personally. That's made me over 30% in Bitcoin holdings. So it's pretty awesome. Ethereum continuing to do damage. The trade given in the trading group starting to do that thing. So blessings on blessings. Anyone following that call, Ethereum could be the trade of the day. DINGO. I like this consolidation. I don't know much about the coin. I think I remember it from before, but that's just, whenever I see something doing that, it's gonna catch my eye. Smaller volume, definitely higher risk. Want to, you know, research it yourself, find out where the best liquidity may be. But man, DINGO looks interesting to me, and I don't own any at all. Doesn't matter, but looks like it could do damage. Trash on Sol. We got in, it's talked about it here. It did 130% or something. And then if you pull the fib here from that impulse, it came pretty dang close. 618 Fibonacci right there. It bounced off the 618 exactly like it was supposed to. So far to the money, I could see it headed back to 2 cents and 1/10 of a penny. Trash. And someone put it on our radar here on the live, and then we mapped it out, and then it played out. So this stream is awesome and really gives you a lot of awesome data. Yesterday, another coin did damage. And that looks so clean, I just want to leave it. So Bitcoin dominance. Looks like we could get some love here for the altcoins today. Next couple of hours, 16 hours at least. Is Sol going to pump off that dominance? Yeah, it looks like it may. And so this is what I'm watching like on every coin, right? They took the beat down. They hit their 1 hour 200 moving average. If we lose that level, we know what's coming, the 2 hour 200 moving average, because you studied with me, right? And you know this. So far, not a bad bounce. And what I'm looking for is consolidation. See, everyone else gets rocked and wrecked trying to time the bottom and the top. Oh, Sol's going to bounce right here. I'm long 100x, right? And then they get wrecked or make tons of money. And their whole life is on this casino move. That's cool. And you know what? It's okay if you could perfect that type of stuff. For me, that's not my forte. I've done it. I don't mind using the 4 hour tweezer bottoms. Like that's, What I look for is just this consolidation. Like just consolidate. Show me that you're going to go up and down here and get ready for its next, really like a bigger leg up. And you start seeing like 257 is coming. Like, how do I position myself for 257? And this is really the key, in my humble opinion. And this entry may be golden right now with a 6-to-1 risk-reward ratio. You see? Ahead of the curve, seeing what nobody else sees for Solana. And that's a beautiful bounce. 0.5 fib off that impulse there. So Solana, looking like we could get it, and 189, I mean, strong after the $200, you know, local top, 205 local top. I mean, that's great. How could you hate on 189 for Solana? So Sol looking absolutely beautiful. I like it. Just, it's got to get, you know, again, there's a resistance there. What you're looking for is probably an inverted head and shoulder, right? Like shoulder, head, some right shoulder, but we're getting this massive short squeeze. Let's get back here to BOOKMAP. Looks like we're going to be watching a squeeze happen as we speak right now. 119,000. Massive short squeeze for Bitcoin. And there, the model finally does play out beautifully on the 1 minute. It gets above the 200 moving average, touches the 21, and lifts off like butter. And I didn't take it, right? That's why you got to just constantly take the model. I was just doing my thing. Didn't have a chance to kind of double it up there on this Thursday. Was talking too loud over here, but there you go. I mean, there's the model again. Basically, the flag, it didn't touch the 21 this time, but it got pretty dang close. And then all these other time frames were above the 200 moving average, right? 15 minutes still could get in. Yep, there we go. It's above the 200. The 1 hour is above. Everything's kind of doing damage right now on these shorts. 118,950. It's still choppy. We're just kind of going back and forth, going after people, but it does seem like Ethereum is the daily play. And if Bitcoin's bullish, it'll help the rest of the market too for the day. So, hey, Solana looks interesting to me. Let's jump on into some of these other super chats you people are sending in and see what's happening here on the day. FLOKI looking real strong on the chart for a breakout. I think their ETP launches next month. I like FLOKI. I currently hold FLOKI, and I agree with you. Yeah. Congrats, everybody. So, SD pumping yesterday. I threw some money in it right before the pump. Nice. Yeah. A dingo ate my Satoshi. I know, right? I always sell, and then when it doesn't dump, I get back in. Then it dumps. Crazy. Man, wish I heard this 30 minutes ago. I closed my ETH trade only to see it pumping now. Yo, Crypto Life, we keep rocking the blockchain. If you were in my trading group, you would have seen an ETH call at 9:10, and, you know, so I'm just, hey, maybe you'd like to have a group. Crypto Lifer, keep rocking the blockchain grind. Stay strong through the dips. Your hustle unstoppable. Here's the green candles and epic gains today. God bless you. Grok 3, man. Thank you. If anyone's in Soul Strategies, keep an eye out. They announced 8-to-1 stock dilution. No bueno. Oh, yeah, that's always garbage. Can you share wild TA coins? So super chats, TARS AI, Spark, Newton Protocol, FLOKI, OP, and WAXL. Let's take a look at your super chats and see who's giving some fan funding here today on the stream. We have the first one coming in, Underground Cryptos. Can't wait to watch you nail the top of the cycle. Very humble and nice for you to say to me. Thank you. I hope I come through for you. I really do. Sam, can you chart TARS AI? How high could TARS go this bull run? I have a big bag and still holding. Let's take a look at TARS AI. And they say backed by the Solana Foundation, like supposed to be doing damage. I'm like, for some reason I'm drawing a blank. It's TAI, right? I'm drawing a blank. TARS Protocol. Just, you know, just underperforming with the market. Not getting the pump with the rest of the market too, right? Just kind of seeing like it's being suppressed. Just still in this kind of falling wedge. And altcoins have been just, honestly, they've been sloppy, slippy. But a lot of them were this beautiful cup and handle and broke out. You know, we got this on the 3-day chart, almost every coin except for TARS AI. It even had this consolidation that kind of faked it and never got the move out. So it's either getting, you know, some inside selling. I don't know what's happening, but, you know, suppression here. I still see the cup and handle. I got faith in it. I'm holding it until it pays me. It's taken forever. It's near the 618 Fibonacci retracement from this wick to that wick, which you can't really hate on. So it's, you know, again, it's a time when I'm just being impatient. I want to get paid faster than it's given me, and I'm just gonna have to wait my turn to get to 19 cents there and then open it up. Would love to sell it up there somewhere at 40, 50 cents. I mean, that would be a beautiful 5 to 6x here if it makes it back to 45 cents, 49 even. That's 7x waiting for us for TARS AI. So, but only to the people who are patient enough to probably hold that thing, and nobody knows for sure. Thank you so much for the super chat for TARS AI from Lane Hood, Lane FF Hood HXD. God bless you, brother. Send Justin Batulanan 533. Sam, thank you, lifers. God bless you all. Thank you. God bless you. Hit that like, hit the love. Thank you for the consistency and the dedication. I hit the like, I hit the love. I'm doing a review of Spark today. What's your opinion of it? Spark, somebody asked about. Let's take a look. Let's see what's also hot right now in CoinMarketCap in the last hour. Radium doing a little damage, up 7% in 7 days, 5% in an hour. ENA, Pudgy Penguins really taking it by storm. Whiff, back above $1. That's strong. I like it. Jasmy had a little bit of a move the last couple weeks. SPX is very strong, 69. Doge holding 24, up 3.8% in the last hour. Not too bad. Near Protocol. TIA, which is kind of underperforming. FLOKI, as someone said, down actually, though, in the last 24 hours and 7 days. And then, Fetch is the sleeper. I own a bit of Fetch there, too, as well. IOTA Story, IP, BitTensor, Render, back above $4. Ondo holding $1 to me is like kind of a key part of this market. Chainlink, I want to see it above 20. Farcoin ripping. It held $1 very well and then made short work of that. We've got a big long on Farcoin there going to 250 possibly. Injective Jupiter, I like to see it when it gets back above $1. This is Jupe. This is where you can trade Jupe. A lot of different coins here on Jupe. This is where I do all my coin shopping here. All right, on Jupe. I do my coin shopping here on Jupe. When I'm looking for a coin, I want to get into something or, anything with a soul, I'm doing it here on Jupiter, jupe.ag. All right, it's the spot. I love it. I've been holding and staking Jupe for over a year and a half now or something. Caspa 10 cents, nice. Just kind of looking at the health of the market. Sonic, SWE, one of my favorite projects in my bigger holdings. Solana, one of my biggest holding. Cake, I still got some Cake. I like Cake. Cake's strong right now. We're going to talk about Cake in a little bit. Adam, man, I have it just staking on Coinbase. Aerodrone, 90 cents. We'll take a look at that today. Hyperliquid, one of my bigger holdings, holding 43. I like to see that. Down in the week, but a strong project. Hyperliquid. I see Hyperliquid getting to 100 at least, too, at one point. So, all right, there's your kind of top 100 grays over there, top 50. Different things of what's happening in the market. Nothing too crazy. Vine up 72%. We talked about Vine pumping. And, we went over Vine because it was on the moonshot list. And let's take a look at Vine here in the channel. So I gave Vine, it was on the moonshot list. We went over it together on Saturday morning. And look at this puppy. I mean, that's how you change lives right there. And this was given in the trading group. Again, people give leverage trades, all this stuff, but who gave you 115% on Vine, right? It says stops below the 33 area there. You see? And no stop loss got hit in the making of this trade. If you did it, the entry was somewhere in here. Going for the target, went well above the target. 115% gains for Vine, and I put it on your radar. Talked about it. We called it a moonshot. I remember Vine too. I personally hold some Vine. So nice to see Vine going up 100%. I mean, that will probably come back down pretty fast. I'd be taking some profits pretty fast right now if I was in Vine. And now we can open it up on the smaller time frames just to get a look at what's happening. And there's a chance it could do some damage here out this little flag. When price action is this crazy, you got to watch the smaller time frames. But if Bitcoin gets frisky, which it is, and this thing's already pumping, and Bitcoin is ripping right now, and absolutely just ripping. I mean, look at it. Just doing damage. And again, a 200 moving average. There it is on the 1 minute. There it is. Just you getting in when we cross the 200 to the upside. They played me right here, but there it is to the upside. Bang, bang, bang. Win 3 out of 10, it pays for the losses, so you just got to keep trucking. Wish I was there to capitalize on that. I usually would have just went right back in. Felt like I might have been over trading on a Thursday, so I slightly hesitated. Then actually now I got deep into the analysis. But man, Bitcoin ripping 119,450 back to the top of the channel. Let's go, Bitcoin. Let's go. And I mean, these have been like these trades have been like forever, man. Like these two trades have been open for I don't know how many days, you know. And you can see 115,000, almost a whole Bitcoin, and just been trucking along, waiting and waiting for the bigger move to 120,000. Looks like it may never happen. Is the NASDAQ following along? A little bit. It's above the 200. You could see the NASDAQ may actually linger behind Bitcoin, and then this might actually play out too. So I might make a live trade on the nasty Nas there. There's my signal playing out on the NASDAQ. Not playing out just yet, but beginning to, you know, project itself into possibilities. I find this like quantum. Like quantum means life goes in the way you saw it, right? You know, remember the double split theory is it changes position from a particle to a wave when observed. So when you look at it, it decides not to be something different. How does it know it's being seen? Somehow your observation changes reality, right? So I believe that. And so through that, the double slit theory is how I trade, by creating projections in which I believe to be true. If they play out, then that's what I'd like to have. That's what I would like to do. You know, that's how I want it to happen. If they don't play out, then I don't want to take the trade. It's like a quantum, I call it quantum trading, quantum systems, right? The quantum projection theory. I call it quantum projection theory because we're projecting our quantum reality through technical analysis theory that we've studied. Theory is like a bunch of data and probabilities that we believe to be true. So we believe these patterns play out over time. So I project the theory of the pattern and a quantum reality, right, with a projection, quantum theory projection. So that's Sam Price, man. That's you know, I'll be hopefully remembered for my quantum theory projection way of trading. All right. Come on in, jump on in. That's why when I teach class, you'll learn all about my quantum theory projection, what's going on, what I'm doing, and how I'm using the moving averages to predict, you know, price and time. For instance, like, look, I don't take the trade if we don't do, you know, now it's a double top coming down to the 21. You see? You can open it up, you can work with it. The key is, can it stay above the 200 moving average, that yellow line? If it can, then there's a trade involved. You just keep changing the reality to see if it will fit. There's a trade in there somewhere if you work it. If you give up too fast, because reality is always changing, right? It doesn't stay, it's not right there. It's always moving every single time. Look at that, man, all the way to the target. That thing ripped. And we were calling 119.8. I didn't think it was going to happen as fast as it did. Pretty crazy. Ethereum should be getting a move too from the pump, which it is. It's a strong candle on the 4 hour for Ethereum. So Bitcoin fends off the wolves last night, and what looked pretty bearish to me, you know, had a head and shoulder pattern, wasn't looking too great. So there's the move for Bitcoin out the 1 minute, 1 hour flag, and it did its thing. Remember, we talked about this flag breaking out. Was a 3.31 risk reward ratio. Could possibly even bring this flag to break even at this point. Did anyone trade the flag? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Did anyone trade that flag? Let me jump back into the live chat. I still watch the replay of my life for class from over a half a year ago. That ought to tell you something. Thank you for saying that. That's amazing. Zebek is moving Unify down. 10x Unify. I remember Unify. It was hot. Yeah. Someone wrote Bitcoin going down as it's pumping in our face. Interesting. Are we watching the same chart? We're going to look at Spark, NEWT Protocol, FLOKI, KEKIUS, Mobile, OP, USD, AX, and Wild. We're going to get to all your super chats. I promise that. We're going to get them taken care of and get them done today. Orange ripping. Finally, wow. It's been so long. Are you serious? Let me go look at that. And we got to take here on Vine. Vine's ripping. The 1 minute looks like it may do some damage here. Very high risk, high reward. But that would be another pretty big gainer. It's kind of shrink it down here so I can get an edge on that. So Vine, probably going to dump in your face. I wouldn't chase because it's up huge on the daily, like if you look at it, right? And I gave the call too in the trading group. So, and we went over it last Saturday in the weekly screen share, or Sunday morning actually. So shout out to Jason Casper, says he listened to me when he worked at the garden. God bless Jason. Hope you're listening today, doing your thing, man. You know, I think about you whenever I'm out there. I've been doing yard work, landscaping, carrying buckets of, you know, crushed stone, just working my butt off, doing things that, like, you know, getting patios made. There's places where, you know, he's like, I'm planting vegetables. I installed a jacuzzi and an Airbnb. But no, these are all all investments. This is an investment property that could bring me my money back, so I'm making it nicer than it was. I installed a patio with a jacuzzi. Like, you know, we just, you know, then I had to connect, you know, the outdoor shower area to the jacuzzi. And I'll show you guys actually what I did. And I hired people to do it. I didn't personally do it, but I did a few things. I repurposed some stone. I did a few things that were interesting that you might want to see. But it's been fun, man. I got a beautiful patio now. Crypto Billy, man. I'm going to call you. I'm going to FaceTime you later today, man, and show you. Vine is pumping because Elon said he's bringing it back in AI form. Everyone says they're going to bring Vine back to X. I've heard that too. And so Vine, that's why I hold Vine, because what if it gets huge? And so I speculate that something big could happen to Vine. You never know, but I speculate on that idea. So I traded the bounce off the POA in the 15-minute. Please show us, Lifer. I will. I will. Okay. Oh yeah, I like bringing that extra sauce too. 11:13. More super chats to figure out here. Let's break it down. I'm a stone mason. I like to hear that. Yeah, we like blue stone here. We love blue, you know. Z-Back, he says, let's just take a look at it. He's screaming about it. He got my radar. We've been looking at it on and off too. Zebekin. I call it Zebekin. ZBCN, if I could spell the ticker right. Zebegnegwe. Now, we talked about when it had bounced off the 618 golden pocket and said that's where, you know, if you buy most of your assets at the 618, in between the 706 and the 618, it's like always going to, you know, TJ Maxx, you know, if you know what that is, or going to Filene's basement. You're getting, you know, you're getting designer clothes that have been left over for a cheaper price. You're not overpaying, you know. I mean, you're still overpaying at the end of the day whenever you're not making your own, whatever, you know what I mean. But I mean, that 8 hour looks beautiful to me. Altcoins look like they're about to respond in kind to a major pump to the upside. So ADA went up 5% in less than an hour. Yeah, I want to show the new crib, but I can't really show the new crib for certain reasons, and I'll explain it one day maybe. But it's honestly just, you know, yeah. Yeah, we were doing Vine. Yeah, exactly. 15 years ago, I was on Vine or something. Yeah, 10. Yeah, exactly. It was a long time ago. This looks like it's going to break out. And I'm not into buying breakouts. So what you could do is you could kind of open it here and say, could it come up, then come back down and make a flag, right? And then I like consolidation. So if it made like another right shoulder there, I could buy it. It looks like it may not stop, though, and it may pump. So when this thing pumps, it pumps pretty hard, you know. You don't have to show us everything. People can be weirdos, you know. Yeah, I actually wish I could. If I lived in Dubai, I could, but I just, you know, in a place where, like, I feel like completely isolated, but I'd love to show everything. I really would, just because it's fun. And I like to share, but you know. Wow, Spark out of control. Another coin looks just like Zora, right? just absolutely wrecking shop from 4 cents all the way up to 18 cents. Did a 4x. It's insane. Spark. And just flag after flag. 21. Right? Touching the 21. Touching the 21, you see? Boom, boom. Low stochastic, low stochastic, low stochastic, low stochastic, bang. Then it makes the bearish div, right? RSI swings down, price swings up. Looks like a rising wedge that could break up. You know there's 68% chance it breaks to the downside. Bearish divergence. Dump. Now what? Well, we got to go to the bigger time frame now. The daily. It ripped. That's going to have to find its way, I say, back to a 618 golden pocket. Maybe this is just some crazy bull run and it keeps going, but it's unlikely. Yeah, I'd watch the 8-hour time frame, the daily time frame, the 4-hour time frame, you know. If it's super bullish, it'll go more sideways, but it's going to consolidate no matter what. And it's going to break out of there. It does look like it could continue up to 33 cents, but it's going to have to do something here first for a little while before it makes that bigger move. You're going to be looking for the 21 touch of spark somewhere, somehow. But that thing's out of control. And another beautiful play here in cryptocurrency, right? Remember Chill Guy? Funny, we were looking at here, right? This is the perpetual, but there, I mean, look at that. I mean, yep, 4 cents back to 8 cents. Took its time, though, like a long time, right? And look, everything just getting that. And so what I see is just Bitcoin dominance letting go. And so that's going to just, you know, the bots, people are going to start looking. We're looking for this inverted head and shoulder now on all these coins, see, on the 4-hour time frame. So this is going to be likely our key. That will tighten this channel up. Get a nice little breakout here for Cardano. Cardano's breaking out from the initial area here too. Right? And this is that flag. I mean, I see Cardano, you know, right there. I was like, man, that's a beautiful kind of cup and handle there. I see it headed to 173. Cardano. Bitcoin 500x scalp with Sammy as a friend. Receipt lifers gains. Join the 99. My man, 500 with the dang. Let's take a look at it though. He's got the receipt. Craziness. And the lifer gains, baby. Gains on gains. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you all. And even yesterday, the live trade for Zora had a nice pump to the upside, which is pretty crazy. Lifer gains right there. Look at that, dude. 1,800 beans from the 117.9 up to 119. Look, that's a great place to close, too. Look at that. And that's divided by 4. So he used about like $400 to make about $1,900, or maybe a little like $430. I think that's how it works. Or 500, no, divide it. I'd have to figure it out. 500%. He made 400% of 18. Yeah, it's $400 because he 4x'd whatever he had. Where it doesn't really matter about the leverage you use, but God bless you, brother. Thank you. That's amazing. It's a nice 4x in the morning, huh? That ain't bad. God bless the lifers. Thank you for jumping on in. If you want more gains like that or you want to learn how to do that, I know what 500 is pretty crazy, but hey, if it's done correctly and that's how you want to do it, but bang, bang, bang. Not hating. I think it's amazing. Just want to make sure the beginner never gets like overwhelmed. That's all. So Cardano looking pretty nice to me too. Bitcoin with the squeeze, but you know, short-lived on a Thursday. And we squeezed up to what? 19,750 to come down all the way like $800 in seconds. So like the volatility is absolutely insane today. On spot, we went to 119,465. We did close the candle on the 1-hour time frame. So that all kind of starts to look pretty nice. 7 minute above, you know, so you got away from the 21-day moving average way too fast, you know, and that's when you take profits. If I'm ever in a big trade and we get away from the 21 that fast, I mean, I know we're going to probably come right back to it unless we're going to go somewhat sideways. So now you could watch the 5 minutes, a good time frame today. It's stronger. And so you're looking for this kind of consolidation. Again, not a lot of room here inside this pattern, so it gets me. But just like we're looking on the 8-hour, same thing. I learned all this, you know, we want to get the bounce, 21 come into play. This could definitely continue to pump to the upside, right? Overbought here on the stochastics RSI too as well, all right? So you want to see that reset on the 15. You want to see price action do its thing. If it comes down and loses the 200 moving average, like this is just short-lived dump. And it meant nothing. It was just like a quick liquidity grab yet again. And Bitcoin's been choppy as all heck recently. So I'm just showing you how to try to find the next win. So I saw the pattern. They stop hunted me, ripped it, and then got the pump. Came back down. We'll see what happens later on. Shout out to the channel sponsors. Kinesis.money. Cool place where you can buy and sell gold. Basically a coin that basically represents gold and silver. You can also then convert those into Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? You could sell those, buy, you know, you have Tether going. You have a bunch of different stuff here. Really interesting. So like, you know, you can use whatever balance you have to buy. Like say you wanted to buy, right now I wanted to buy some gold token. You could buy $50 worth of gold, $40 worth of gold. You could buy silver. I like silver right now. There's a lot of upside to silver. Our account's actually up from when we first got into silver, which is pretty awesome, right? You know, and so what I'm thinking is, you know, every once in a while, I'm going to put some money into silver, let it rip, and then when that's up, I'm going to convert it to Bitcoin. You can also get yields and metal back, which is pretty cool. Metal back is getting 10% at different merchants paid back on your metal back purchases and get the KAU paid into your account. It's pretty awesome. You can also get yield. So if you had gold sitting at home doing nothing, you can ship the gold to Kinesis, you know, and I trust them. They're a great company, 100%. I wouldn't work with them. And then you get the actual coin based off what you shipped in gold, and then you can use that for yield and actually make DeFi movements. Even if you made 5% a year, even if it was tiny, it was not, you know, it's better than sitting in your closet getting dust, right? So this is how we can kind of convert gold to digital money in the new age. Kinesis figured it out, and I think it's really innovative. Because we're going to have to find a way to get access to all that money that's stored, that people are using to do nothing with, gold. Well, why don't we get some yield? Why don't we get it working for us in a DeFi way? This is what I really like about Kinesis, and I think they're onto something. I think I'm onto one of the best, biggest companies that's going to get very, very big. Because there's a lot of people like me that are gold bugs, but we're like, what do we do with it now? I'm willing to take a third of it, ship it to Kinesis, and start using it. You know what I mean? I don't have access to my gold at the present moment, but when I do, I'm thinking of doing that. I'm just traveling at the moment. So, but I am building up my silver bank here on Kinesis. So that's my idea. Link to Kinesis in the description if you want to find out more about Kinesis. They do sponsor the channel. I greatly appreciate that. And I love these types of relationships. So Bitcoin, you're watching your 5 minute to see if it can flag out. Stay above its 200 moving average and catch up with the 21. Make some type of ascending triangle and still get on its way back up to 120,380 for BTC. So it looks like in some of the futures, Bitcoin almost did hit $120,000 BTC. Struggling again back at 118. The battle continues for Bitcoin. Amazing. Amazing. Let me jump back into the chat. We have a lot of super chats to catch up to. Let's see. You don't get enough credit. I've been here since the 15K. Pepe Trades, High Coins, Arrow, AI Tech, Ando. My man, you have exposed me to so many projects. Blessings, brother. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. It's okay. It's all right. A lot of people don't like, because I don't make like long form videos for you people to remember exactly what I said. I think so, kind of. And I talk so much, it goes, you know, around. Sahara's hot, but it's super over. This one looks like it's from yesterday. I don't know how I get the stream, the chat from yesterday. If that's even Paul, I guess the history remembers. If you like Sam's streams, you'll love being in the 99. Like-minded boys and girls helping each other, please, plus master friend. Go to cryptolifer.com, baby. Just sign up with your Kinesis link. Thank you. Anytime, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to do. Yeah. Okay, shout out to everybody here. And if you want to sign up to trade, we trade on weeks. Bitfinex, BTC.C, and MEXC. MEXC has the least fees of any place in the game and also is a really good spot. Central place, I really like that. I like MEXC for that reason. But I also like swing trading weeks. It's where I made that bigger trade recently. And Bitfinex, BTC.C as well. So I like how it's going. All right. Let's jump back into the Super Chat Easies and see what's happening over here. Where did we finished off with? And my team has it, but I like to go through this and see the names. So we looked at Spark. I think it looks hot. I don't know enough about it. So I'd have to kind of do a deep dive on it. It's got 141. I like the market cap, you know, which means it can soar. It already did a beautiful move too, which is, you know. So here, it's got a big write up there. Project Spark is an on-chain capital allocator with $3.86 billion deployed across DeFi, CeFi, and RWA. It unlocks capital efficiency at scale, auto-balancing allocations based on market conditions while maintaining a conservative risk profile. Project Mission Spark was created to solve DeFi's core inefficiencies, fragmented liquidity and unstable yields, and idle stablecoin capital. It acts as a two-sided capital allocator, borrowing from Sky's $6.5 billion reserves and deploying across DeFi, CeFi, and RWAs. Interesting. It taps into Sky's 6.5 stablecoin reserves. DeFi Llama on Spark, 8.9 value lock billion. I mean, that's wow. On chain. So this thing is starting to move pretty well. Honestly, if the market continues to grow and DeFi grows, this will just automatically grow by, you know, automating itself through more capital. I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer. That looks pretty interesting to me. Looks like we could get the bounce here on this 5 minute to turn this into a beautiful flag and continue the pump to the upside for Bitcoin. I remain long on that 8-hour time frame. I feel like they're doing everything they can to fumble with the market, but I remain long. Calm, cool, and collected that those trades will play out and pay the trader over time. So you got to have conviction. We'll take a look at the unemployment today too that came in at 8:30 in the morning. Unemployment claims. Let's take a look here. They were at 227, 222. So, yeah, 221 was previous. 227 was forecast. And we came in at 217. So people are working, man. There's jobs out here. I see people working. I'm hiring, you know, think for odd jobs around the house. People are getting busy. Electricians, landscapers, stonework. Like, you know, there's work here. I mean, I get it. It depends on where you're at, but there's work. There's work for people that want to grind. I know it. I'm seeing it. So let's take a look at Newton protocol. Food for thought. Somebody says Newton. Let's take a look at Newton here. It's on Coinbase. NEWT, right? Yeah. I was about to say, wow, thing ripping. We went over Newton too, man. Man. Token metrics, man. And also just crypto rank. Remember, I kept saying, Newton, what is this? I said, look it up. What is Newton? And the thing just did an absolute blast. This is crazy. Just overnight, it went from 40 cents all the way up to 72 cents. And just a couple days back, it was sitting at 30 cents. So it doubled up amazingly fast. Probably tiny market cap too as well. I like where it's sitting. I mean, that's, even from that impulse, you can see 618 Fibonacci retracement. Maybe it hits the 786, but that looks healthy to me. That could bounce and head all the way to 94 cents. That's bullish. I hold none of this. I don't, you know, I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm just giving you guys what I see happening. Too many people do that, so you never know. Like, are they giving me real, like, analysis, or are they just showing me what they're into? I don't do that. If I'm into it, I say, hey, I also own the coin. But I'm into searching as much as you are. All right. So NEWT protocol, 57 cents. Same market cap, similar as Spark, 120. It's a really good spot. I like it. I could 10x to 1.2 billion if it can get the market share it's looking for. Binance launches trading for Tassie, Arcade, and time airdrops. Yeah. Didn't say NEWT. No. NEWT is a verifiable automation layer for on-chain finance. Lets users delegate complex cross-chain actions to AI agents while retaining cryptographic guarantees to each step, respecting user guardrails. It combines ERC-433 and EIP-7702 smart accounts for granular delegation, trusted execution environment, which is TEE, trusted execution environment, attestations, and zero-knowledge proofs to prove correctness of every off-chain decision. The goal is to turn automation itself into a trusted, minimized primitive and unlock agent finance across multiple blockchains. You can see how Spark and NEWT protocol go together. They're automated AI versions of DeFi. Pretty interesting, right? I mean, this is it, right? DeFi AI. That's what I'm seeing. DeFi AI is what I'm seeing. Or DAI, Def AI. This is a whole new thing. I mean, with coins like this, you can see how people might be selling Bitcoin to get into some of these altcoins with AI and tech. And so this is interesting. Bitcoin struggling after that beautiful pump to the upside, but resistance around 119,004. And it's just making it so difficult. Just sit, sometimes, even as a creator, as a YouTuber, you sit in a trade longer than you want, and just sit there. The trade will play over time. Or will it, right? Let's go over the bearish scenario again for Bitcoin. Let's take a look at it one more time with an open mind here. You get caught up in your own sauce. Right now, it does look bearish to me. I'd like the daily candle to close green, preferably. Important, right? And the 8-hour really is my go-to time frame right now. And this trend line. Like to see this. If this trend line breaks, then we have to say we're going to come visit 116.3. And then, I mean, look at that move back to 111.5 and into that 115 zone. The 8-hour is kind of, shoulder, kind of head. It's lower highs. It's got moving averages somewhat tight, but not the greatest. And then the 4-hour too, we're looking for this breakout. And then the 1-hour did break out, but just kind of hit the top of the channel, you see? Like, that's resistance. We don't have a lot. What I kept saying is we don't have a lot of range. I don't like to trade the node. I don't like to trade. Small time frames are great up here because you can scalp and then you can run on the bigger ones. So you can get into the small, get some run. But when the bigger time frames don't have any run and you get into the small time frames, it's chop and you can get hurt. So this is why I stopped trading like the 1 minute as much in here, because you can see how it's, you have to be perfect and get in and out. Here you have some ranges that are bigger. You have more leeway. Here it's less, and the reward is less because the range, you're likely to go to just to the top of the range. Here you could get in here and go all the way back up here. Short all the way back down. Long all the way up, right? Here, long all the way up. But now, now a long is maybe get you just, you don't. And so just by common sense, if you do this long enough, you'll learn when by probability, you don't want to keep trading small time frames because of where you are inside of a pattern. And that's why pattern trading is key. People say, oh, pattern trading, it's more than just, it's not just, oh, I trade the pattern for the measured move. It's also the pattern tells me where we are in the trade. It tells me also where the range areas are that are going to give me the most or highest probability. Look, if I can get in this low and give a risk here and get that much out of it, take the same trade with the same risk, but only get that much out of it, which trade are you going to take? You're going to take this one every time, and you're going to leave this one alone. So by using patterns, it's going to tell me when and where to get in trades by probability. It's basically using probability. It's math. The pattern actually combines math without you realizing it. And that's why pattern trading, you're basically doing some complex mathematical stuff without even knowing you're doing it when you're using patterns. Same when you're using the 200 moving average. You're understanding trend without even knowing that you understand the trend analysis, because if you're above the 200, then you're above the trend. If you're below the trend. If you're near it, then you're in a battle for the trend. Right now, we're near it. We're all over it. So we're in a battle for the trend. We could still get the shoulder, head. It's kind of a complex head and shoulder. I'm still, They're like, but you're long 8 hours. I see it both ways all the time. When I'm in a long, I'm just taking a probability. Doesn't mean I believe I know where price is going. Right? A lot of people long only when they believe they know where price is going to go. It's going up for sure. I'm longing. I'll say, hey, the probability is long. I'll take it, but I don't know if it's going up. I have no idea. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. Whatever it does, it's going to do. I'm going to trade it no matter what and go from there, right? And I'm either going to win or lose and go from there. I can't get too emotional about the win. I can't get too emotional about the loss. The key is, can I grow the account over time? That's it. And can I be patient to know that when the bigger times come, I can make the bigger gains, and when it's not time to make it, I don't have to be forced it. So what do I see happening today? And now it just looks like we're getting some chop again. Just like I said, kind of like we're in the chop, the end of this symmetrical triangle really starting to form, and it's going to either break up or down, and they usually do break down. So I wouldn't be surprised. And then we got BOOKMAP screaming that 115K is coming. And now you can see 118 kind of getting shredded again. And will they bring us back to 117.5? And then that could create the collapse to 115. So again, I see mixed signals. I hate to say it, but that's what the charts are giving me. They're not giving me clear defined ranges. Clear defined probabilities. They're saying, hey, we're not sure which way is going to go, right? Thank you for the super chats. $164.64 in chat revenue. People are insane how much you give to this channel. It's unbelievable. Let's take a look at optimism. OP, USDT, and see what's happening for OP. Newton does look good. There's some hot winners today in the altcoin market that just don't seem to care. Bitcoin dominance, right? Not in control. So the altcoins are taking advantage. Optimism. Could say it found that some support there, even right there. See resistance, support. And again, you're just looking for the daily to flag out, and then if the daily can it break above the 200 moving average? Looks like that could take 5 or 6 days of sideways price action, and then boom. I'm more bullish than bearish because it looks like it seemed to have found a bottom. Head back to about 111 for optimism. Let's take a look at Keeping It Real podcast. He is asking about XLR. WAXL on MEXC for whatever reason. Let's take a look at XLR on MEXC. So we looked at it here. It did grow out of the bottom. It did pump, but it's, a lot of these coins kind of just doing their thing. It's struggling to get above the daily 200 moving average. Once it does that, though, it could complete a bigger move. Kind of pumping slightly today, too. So you can see, it's funny. Bitcoin struggles. All coins are kind of doing their thing. On the 4-hour, it's attempting to stay above the 200 moving average. Price action's a little sketchy, but what you're looking for, at least here, is something like this. We do have a measured move. We do have a possible right shoulder that could break out. And can we head to 55 cents? Then there's a resistance at 41. A bounce there at 35. Right? And it would head all the way up there to this key level. It's about 54 cents in 92 in a 9/10 of a cent. Right? Oversold in the stochastics RSI. Lack of bearish momentum in the MACD. I like what it looks interesting. I just think it looks like it needs a right shoulder before it breaks out on the 4-hour time frame. And I could be wrong. All right. All right. Let's keep these running. We got Lifer995. He says, joined the 99 last night after a year of thinking about it. Just made my money back with the ETH call this morning. Can't wait for class on Saturday. So he joined the 99 last night after thinking about it for a year. He made his money back with the ETH call this morning. Can't wait for class on Saturday. 99 is not hard for me to find a way to make a gain on. And that's all we charge a month. So clearly a beautiful move there. And you can't beat that. So joined the 99 last year after thinking about it. Just made my money back with the ETH call this morning. Hey, thank you so much for saying that, man. You gave me a purpose to be around. I helped somebody today find their way. May God bless you. People inviting me to their weddings. I'm sorry I can't make it there. We're doing so many other things. But I appreciate that. Let's take a look at WLD, WorldCoin, USDT. So someone asked me about WorldCoin a while back, and we said the 3-day chart is your chart for almost every coin. Looks like it's going to break out. It was down at 87 cents. It went to a high of 139. There was gains to be had. Now the 3-day chart looks like it could get reserved, but it's near the 21. That's a good sign. You can now kind of head to that daily or to the 8-hour or the 4 to kind of start to take a look at what's happening. And again, do we get that recovery we're getting now? And it's the same exact thing we just showed you on Solana, Bitcoin, all that. This consolidated flag, or actually this looks more like a bit of a flag that we're going to break out. But even over time, could it make something like that? Or does it come and make it, you know, up in here more, but, you know, like somewhere. Weird, it won't give me that. This one, yeah. Could get back inside and then make the pattern, like. Nah, the other charts I'm looking at, it's not as robust. I personally don't love the project either. But it bounced nonetheless. Shoulder head kind of shoulder there, though. And a vicious move down on the falling wedge. But it broke trend after, you know, multiple 4-hour candles dumping. So yeah, just like I showed you on Solana, same kind of thing. It would follow the rest of the market. Could it make some type of chubbier consolidation here? And then it will have another leg up. The pattern takes it somewhere $1.94 to $2. All right. FLOKI looking real strong. Thank you, Alpha, for Cry. And we looked at WLD. Yep. And we'll look at FLOKI. Hey, Lifer, keep rocking the blockchain grind. Stay strong through the dips. Your hustle's unstoppable. Here's to the green candles and the epic gains. God bless you, man. Thank you. Can you check KEKIUS from Token Metrics, please? Let's take a look at KEKIUS. Helium Mobile. Let's take a look at that, too. Let's take a look at KEKIUS. And wait, I just want to, yeah, FLOKI. Wow, you guys have got it rocking and rolling today. This is like a bull run stream. Loving it. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for all the lovers of life out here and everyone kicking it on the live with the lifer. May I get the likes up to the watchers? Thousands of people here on the live stream. It would be awesome to see you guys come on in. So all these setups look nice. And then when Bitcoin dumped last night, they just boom. It was I've never seen so many stop hunts in my life for like so many. It's just like we're going to eat it all. The daily is away from the 21-day moving average. It's definitely something we have to consider every time we're getting into these trades. And same scenario here as everything else. I just want to see the bounce. This could be one of the greatest entries for DCAing if you didn't build a portfolio yet before the rocket ship happens. So, again, I DCA'd my butt off. I built big positions in a lot of these coins, and now I'm just going to wait patiently to get paid over time. That's it. And some of my entries were way earlier than before. They went all the way up, all the way down, but never went to where the lows were. And I just kept sitting there, just like Solana. So it's been crazy. Wow, this is like Super Chat Central. It's insanity what's going on here. I guess my stream's blowing up. People know this is the place to be. We're going to look at KEKIUS, Helium Mobile, and we're going to continue to roll here. More Super Chats than any other stream, I think, in all of crypto on the Crypto Lifer Show. This show's different. This show gets it done when it's happening. All the other streams are like they make a video that kind of lasts, and that's great. It's two different business models. It's just interesting to see like how this one plays out. This one's extraneous because you have to work it every day. It's kind of like making butter. Like you don't get the butter till you work the butter. You know what I mean? Someone asked about KEKIUS on Sol. Is this the one right here? KEKIUS? I mean, it looks horrible. I don't really subscribe to this coin, so... Oh, yeah, there's KEKIUS Maximus, though. That's the one, yeah. I mean, still sits at a 24 market cap. If you believe in it, it's going to move. The market structure is horrible. You said anything, it kind of has that Adam and Eve right there, slanted with the little, you know. And what I have been doing is looking at slanted patterns, like it's a slanted cup and handle that should break out like this. Hit the target at about 4.3. I know that's very decrypted, very crypt. But something like this looks interesting. Possibly back to like 04085, you know. KEKIUS, I'm not a fan though, but it is, look, it's a giant cup and handle now that I see like almost every coin was in. They all did it and they all pumped out of it. So if you believe in memes and you believe the whole market will come back, KEKIUS could have a pretty big run back to 9 cents or something, 10 cents. But I don't know if it's my coin. And in big runs, every coin makes it up. I've seen it happen a few times, but it's not a guarantee, right? Nice little pump back there, but is it sustainable? I don't know. On FLOKI there, and it's just kind of the same thing. We're going to watch on Solana, FLOKI, Bitcoin. And where's Bitcoin now? 118.5? 118.950, trying to get another short squeeze cooking again here. What a volatile day. They went after this. So I told you, liquidations on both sides. Didn't I say it this morning? So I wouldn't be surprised they used this type of price action to liquidate both sides of the game. That's what we saw this morning, kind of like a false move Monday today. So helium. Again, this is, again, the quantum projection. You say, well, if it stays inside the pattern, I'd love to trade it. If it doesn't, then it's making a different type of pattern, right? And again, maybe it's making this, like we just talked about, same idea. And we're looking to see almost, and again, the altcoin market moves in cycles. They all kind of do the same thing, like 95% of coins. So if I'm looking for a bounce on the 15-minute out of this flag, I'm looking for a bounce on the 15-minute on almost every single coin, right? They're all waiting to see if Bitcoin's going to surrender or make a move. And this is why you watch Bitcoin incessantly and its insanity, and it can get you kind of crazy. And Bitcoin's moves can be volatile, violent, and most people can't handle. Over time, a lot of people get wrung out of crypto because they last a couple years and eventually they just can't take it anymore. I've been there at my wit's end many, many times. I've gone for a bike ride. I've taken a deep breath. I've told myself it's just a moment in time, and I've come back strong. You know what I'm saying? And I've won so big that I couldn't believe it. But it's been, dang, it's been hard. I'm looking for this to bounce just like everything else. And what you're kind of really seeing is this shoulder, this head, and a bit of a right shoulder. And then can you get the breakout, right? Kind of looked at that and a lot of other things too. But that's that market structure flowing through all of those other coins. The multi-bank group, MBG. Liquidity is interesting. Price action's weird, but again, I stick to my basics. So the basics are you bounced. Previous resistance was support. You bounced, you're above that. And you've now flagged out a bit here. And anytime I see a flag above the 15-minute, 200 nearing the 21, there's a chance it can pump. So my system says this will pump, and it will pump somewhere to about 292. It says it might go lower, though, all the way to 182, maybe even a wick to 180, 170 something. But it does suggest that 292 is coming. I can't guarantee that. That's just what the system says. Shout out to Andrew with the win and making $1,800 in the 500x scalp. God bless you, brother. Absolutely maintaining and nailing it. Let's look at Crow. Let's look at ALU and see what's going on here. Let's look at CRO and ALU. And we're crushing through these super chats. God bless you all. Thank you so much for kicking it with the lifer. It just doesn't stop. Wow, Crow's been hot since it crossed its what? Daily 200 moving average. We teach you this in the group. We teach you how simple it can be to make a trade and win. Don't have to be a genius, just a simple person that does simple things over time. If you repeat the process over, it eventually becomes more, more instinctual and less emotional. And you start to kind of understand more of what's happening. I see this as kind of a broadening, falling wedge that's going to break out and do damage over time. It might make another right shoulder like everything else. It may come down to test, I'd say, 12.2, possibly one more time. But this thing is also pretty close to a bigger breakout. I see 16 cents coming out of Crow, right? Crypto.com, one of the best projects in the game, right? Ozzy and Hogan both had TV shows. What a coincidence. Shout out to Ozzy, man. Hulk Hogan passes away, huh? Wow, Hulk Hogan. Dang, man. Hulk Hogan just passed away, everybody. A icon in my life, in all of our lives as kids who didn't have a Hulk Hogan little toy or knew who Hulk Hogan was or saw him do something for somebody somewhere. He gave a lot of charity. He gave his life to the screen, to people, to the world. He was a known person, full of love, light, and happiness. You know, maybe some ups and downs. But from what I remember, the guy was awesome. Shout out to Hulk Hogan. Moment of silence for Hulk Hogan. Man, let's take a look at Helium Mobile. Did we look at mobile or did I look at HNT? I feel like I looked at HNT. But maybe I looked at mobile. I can't remember now, so I'm going to go back and double check. Yeah, I looked at Helium, but not mobile. Apologize for that. So let's take a look. I mean, you see a cup and handle forming and the network building. That's a bit of an Adam and Eve double bottom. This thing could start to really come off of this bottom area here to the upside. You know, Solana's the forefront, but a lot of things are following. It's a bull flag on the 4-hour time frame. I wouldn't be surprised if mobile starts to pump here following the Solana move, the Ethereum move. Sorry, Ethereum move. I said Solana. Am I losing it in my old age over here? But no, I'm looking for this here to go up to the upside. I feel like if you talk a lot, you might misspeak at one point, but you make sure you can just catch it. It happens to every president. Anyone who talks a lot, you're going to misspeak. You're going to say something stupid at one point. People are going to be like, wait, what the? Oversold, curving here on this. And this says 44% gains to 6661 on Helium Mobile. And that's previous supportive resistance. It's also an SR flip, you know. Man, Hulk Hogan passes away. Are you kidding me? I'm kind of I'm in a state of shock right now. I really am. He was pretty young. Wasn't he like, I'd say 62 or something? How did he die? What happened? What happened to Hulk Hogan, man? Jimmy Hart disputes it. Hulk Hogan dead after suffering cardiac arrest at Florida home. 8 minutes ago. Hulk Hogan died at 71 after suffering cardiac arrest at Florida home. He looked pretty good to me. Hulk Hogan, like, look, he didn't even look bad at all. He was in great shape. Born Terry Jean Balea was found dead in his Clearwater, Florida home. Right near my house, man. Dang. They responded to his home after receiving a call about a cardiac arrest. Paramedics and police patrol reported Hogan was wheeled out of his home on a stretcher and into an ambulance. The son had reached out. Wrestling icon's cause of death have not been exploded. Man. Oh, man. Hulk Hogan, man. Sorry, that's so sad. And that's for, news purposes only there. Using that clip just to kind of show you guys what happened in the news, though. Oof. His body was very beat up. Years of great guy, though, man. I don't know, man. His heart stopped. R.I.P. Hulk. LID legend. Yeah. Man, wow. Let's take a look at Ohm USDT. That reminds me of Om too. Omnom, right? Mantra DAO. Remember that thing going on a monster run recently? Looks like that's kind of that area where it's about to do the same thing. I mean, that 21-day moving average curving back to the 200. You pull a fib, you're at your 886 retracement, basically 786 bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if that thing does a liftoff right now. It looks very oversold and ready to rock. It would go up to 43. See, the thing is, buying the lows is scary, but the gains are great. But no one wants to buy the scary lows to get the great gains. They want to just, get the tops, but it doesn't work like that. And Ozzy Osbourne just died too as well. Moment of silence for Ozzy Osbourne. A legend in the space. He did his last performance. I watched this thing. I put him in a chair, did everything he could to stand. It's crazy, man. I hope when I get old, y'all come and visit me and take care of me, man. Bring me out places, bring me fishing, cheer me up. Let me know that it's okay. Say, Sam, remember you were out there every day on that live stream, Sammy. You changed our lives, Sammy. And remind me who I was when I get old, man. So I can relive those moments with each and every one of you. Someone asked about ALU, the lowest it's ever been, not even a penny anymore. Altura, looks like they gave up on the project, to be honest. Kind of sad. Had a bag, believed in it. Every other coin did damage, but this one. And it looks like someone gave up on this thing and threw it into the trash. So I don't know what happened, but it looks like they gave up on Altura. Let's be honest, right? That's a rugger, as far as I'm concerned. High of 17 cents at one point, not even a penny anymore, right? Depends on what vessel is blooded. They have to be omen with, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let's take a look at SAHARA AI. SAHARA. Let's see what's happening with SAHARA futures or Binance. We'll take a look at Binance here. SAHARA. This thing was on an absolute tear. You knew it was going to come back strong. Nothing goes up like that and doesn't just make a massive. I mean, that's just a gimme. So it pumped. It did a massive pump, right? So you look at it on like the 4 hour, the 8 hour. You see how far it got from the 21-day moving average. I like the 2 hour for this one personally. You pull your fib and you see it's back at the 618786 Fibonacci. And you make some sense of how it's going to make a bit of a flag. And it looks to me like it may have some more retracement before it rips up again. But that was quite a run for SAHARA AI. It was just sitting there at 7 cents and repelled all the way to 16. Out of nowhere, we looked at it a bunch of times and we talked about it and went over it on our weekly screen share as well. Man, can we check out LAC? What should I buy right now? Who knows? I would never tell you. Lifer, I'm confused. This market is like Circus Clown and his tricks. It is. It's a very... You got to just stick to what your plan is in this market. That's how it's working out for me right now. Like, you just got to stick to the plan. It's not easy. It's tough. It's been very, very wacky status, to be honest. But, you know, models have played out over time. Like, here's a model that should be playing out again on the 5 minute time frame. We're above the 200, touching the 21. Bigger consolidation now as well. Thursdays aren't my favorite days to trade. I don't know, you know, and I already got a little whack-a-mo there, so it's kind of like, we just kind of weighed it out. But that looks bullish to me. That's a beautiful flag that does play out. And Bitcoin has been fending off the bears here. But man, like to 121, I don't know if that's likely today. The range is tight. I'd go small ball on this. Just, you know, one for 4. They'll add up over time if you win them. You don't have to be a big shot. Remember that. So see, I like the scalp. It's my model. I'm just trading my model like a blind bat, right? 21, 200, take it. 3 out of 10, I win. Keep going, keep going, keep going. I can't get discouraged if I lose 4. I can't get discouraged if I lose 5. Mark Douglas tells me to stick to my plan and stick to the trades. Don't get emotional, okay? This is the hardest part about trading, is having risk management plan, because eventually if you veer off of this, you will lose risk management. But your emotions will veer you off because of 2 or 3 losses will get in your head. You have to be strong through your risk management plan. This is the hardest part of trading right here, right now, is doing what you've done over and over again and not letting your mind trick you into emotionally making a bad decision. All right? The lizard, people keep, oh, what is that? That's weird. Depends on the vessel, but yeah, so anyway. Every day where we look elsewhere, one of them is coded to dump like 35. Yeah, it just now falls off a cliff. You're funny. Waiting to see if money flow can flip green on the 4 hour for Bitcoin. If we can get that, we might see an all-time high. Hey, you never know. All right, I like this little flag here for BTC. So at 12 o'clock, as the stream ends, I make a live trade, keeping you on your toes. We'll come back to whether we win this. Look, the king of 3%. The trade is up 3% somehow. I don't know how we do it over here. Can we get to 121.463 for the win? And my other trades will win too, and then I can show some big wins. Call it a beautiful Thursday. and call it a day, right? So I love you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. I believe we got to every single super chat that was given. We gave an update on Sahara from my man 7. We did Ohm on Mantra. Can we take a look at Shapeshift on Fox as the stream ends, right? Hey, Lifer, the trading group, I'm going through some mental and physical issues. I ask you pray for my pain, misery, and family. Thank you. I'm in the trading group. Young Grasshopper, I love you, man. I'm so sorry to hear this. Pray to God, submit. Believe that everything that's happening to you is happening for a reason, and find a way to use it to your winning advantage. I know that's not easy right now, but that's the only way we can win. And I have no idea what you're going through, so who am I to speak? But I'm here for you. I love you. And may you may have the faith, brother. Crow, my man Daniel Cotilla, Scorch, Andrew Yurkovic, Chart Slayer, Caranelli, Kira O'Neill. Yeah, there you go. Kira O'Neill, we love you. Thank you for Helium Mobile. KEKIUS, an Irish girl there. Love that. Tyron Hamilton, Matt 22, Alpha for Cry, Lift the 9950, keeping it real since podcast. Reliable J in the house. Underground Cryptos, just a battalion. Laying off the hood, Marcus. Underground Cryptos, so many beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in and being a part of this. Someone says, can we look at Fox real quick? Let's take a look at it. Shapeshift Fox, this will be the last super chat though, please. I'm out of here for the day. Been talking for 2 hours straight. You can only imagine what it does to your jawline. No, hey, it gives me a sharp jawline, right? I'm always using my jaw. Hey, it doesn't sound right, if you know what I'm saying. Let's take a look here. Fox, Shapeshift. You know, I like what it's doing. Let's take a look at it on the daily, though. So on the daily, it hasn't really pumped yet. It's getting ready for its pump. It's had some crazy moves, but for the most part, it's double bottomed. See that? And then it's kind of challenging the 21-day moving, the 200 moving average, right? And you can see it's above it on the 12-hour time frame, and seems like it's breaking out already. A lot of wicks to the upside are a bit strange for me, though. So I don't know. It's tough. Let me see it here on Dex Screener if it has like a more liquidity and looks better. I don't even know if that's the same coin, though. Shapeshift Fox right there. I don't know, it looks horrible there too. I don't know. It looks okay. I don't like the liquidity. See, the candles are all over the place, and it's all, you know. We'll look for it to get tight above the 200 moving average on the 1 hour, the 30 minute, and it could pump. It's a meme. It's done okay. I know about it, but, you know, the TA doesn't look great. Doesn't mean it can't do damage, but the TA does not look great. All right, can Bitcoin pump? We're in this little long here for BTC. Can we get to 121,463? Can 119 hold? Bitcoin back to 119,000. Doing damage. So, everybody, I love you. I appreciate you. RIP to Hulk. RIP to Ozzy. Remember, we're not here forever. You're not going to be here forever. Like, I'm going to cherish every moment that I have with each and every one of you. This stream won't last forever. It will last long, but you know what? I'm doing everything I can to make these moments last forever as best we can, but they won't. We know that. Shout out to all my subscribers. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. 98,000, almost 800 subscribers. We are up so close to 99,000. We're at 98,803 subscribers today, everybody. 98,803. Push us to that 99,000. We are so close. It's taken me years of my life, 5 years, almost 6 years of my life. 2019 to 2025. It'll be 6 years this September. I've been running the show. Insane. We started really going hard in 2021, and it's been going ever since. So subscribe to the channel, please. It's discipline. It's hard work, but I can't grow this channel without each and every one of you. I can't do it without each and every one of you. And this is like, you know, crypto should be the biggest, most popular thing in the game. But right now, we're having a lot of retail that just aren't paying attention. They don't know, but there's money being made out here every single day. Let's take a look at that Ethereum long and see if it's staying true and strong here. Little bit of a pullback so far after that pump to about 3,777s. Wow. Wow. Nice pump for Ethereum, though. And now, remember, we're looking for that right shoulder and that consolidation here for Ethereum. And I'll give you guys more insight in the trading group as we continue to grow and progress with what's happening in the markets. Everybody, I love you. I thank you so much. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the love. Thank you for constantly being here and holding down the lifer. I'll be back tomorrow for another amazing live stream. I don't know how we do it every single day, but we do. It's 12 o'clock, baby. Go have some lunch. Enjoy your wins. Lick your wounds if you took some losses. And remember, a win or a loss means you learn something. And just keep coming back every day. Don't make the same mistakes. Journal what happened and work from there. Remember, I studied all of these different people that were successful in life. Whether it was success with a skill, wasn't always money. And, I found out what the secret to success was. Michael Phelps got gold medals. Tom Brady won multiple Super Bowls, right? How did this all happen, right? They did something together. They all did the same thing. You know what it is? They have the same thing in common. You know what the secret to success is? It's getting started.